All right, and we are back with the second part of Group C in round one. I've got my co-host Animated Jay and our judges Blitzen and Vincent Van Flo. Jay, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling. It's a nice day outside. It's Saturday. I mean, what? We're in April. May's coming around the corner. That's my birthday, May 3rd. Send me some presents. Anyway, I'm excited. So, how about the judges? How you feeling? Let's start with Mary. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to watch some light shows and just hang out with you guys for a bit.
That's what's up. That's what's up. How about Vincent Van Flo? How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good. For once, taking a day off work on Monday. I need it, so I'm kind of in a good mood.
Nice. You need that rest. I feel you on that, man. Well, Teddy, how we starting this?
Well, we are actually going to go ahead and start this off with four fantastic Glovers. First up, we have Lupo, followed by Puma, Youngblood, and closing out the episode is going to be Morty. So, without further ado, let's get into Lupo. And that was Lupo. Animated Jay, take it away.
Yeah, man. It's as we've been seeing videos for a bit now. So many different Glovers and so many different levels. You're starting to really see a difference in skill, in my opinion. Because there's just been so many Glovers we've been seeing. It was nice. I would say it was nice. But Blitzen, were you pulled into this show? Because I know you're looking at the whole showmanship and storytelling. Were you pulled in?
In the beginning, I was, and then I got a little bit lost in the mid section. When you pick beats like this that are just very, very consistent, right? When there's moments where there's either a break in the beat or there's a new musical element coming in, I feel like that has to be honored, because if it's just such a such a repetitive flow, we need to, make those little adjustments to keep the viewers engaged, and that could be either switching up the concepts or, changing the pacing, or at least something. So we notice that there's a change. And that happened a little bit in the beginning. And then again, I got a little bit lost midway through, and I feel like the show became a little disconnected from the song.
Got you. How about you, Van Flo? Looking at this, technical, the grid work, what was something that stood out? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so you can definitely tell there's a difference in experience between, the last show I watched was Materia. So going jump from that to this, I can tell. But one of the things I will say that is, good for someone that's, of less experience is there's two kinds of mistakes that people will make, um, aside from, all sorts of other ones. But there's like one of two things. for what I'm talking about. One is you kind of like will rush through things and stumble over yourself. And then there is the uh, sort of like pausing to think reaction, and he leans towards the pausing to think. So I think
Nice.
as he keeps practicing, that's going to be a good habit for him. And the other main mistake I would say would be there's something I call wasted motion as far as like grid work goes, where let's say he has a move like this and you're trying to like move it up or something, and when you do that, you only want that to happen. You don't want like this to jiggle around and like this to jiggle around and like move up and correct or like go off in some different direction and have to come back. There was some of that going on, but he I would say overall his best trait was ease of space.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, Lupo, if you're hearing this, just keep that up, keep sharpening your tools, and as time will tell. Okay, Teddy.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on from Lupo to Puma. And that was Puma. Animated J, take it away.
I feel like this is the potential episode where so far the Glovers we've seen, they have potential, maybe just more experience and just maybe sharpening their tools. I don't know. That's just what I'm seeing from seeing so many videos already. Blitzen, what are your thoughts on the musicality aspect of this Glover?
I think that there was a lot of the concept changed as the music changed, which is great because it keeps the viewer engaged. And there was hits on those beats consistently throughout the whole show, which is great. A couple times some of those movements got a little bit big and went out of frame, which is, I have that problem myself, so I understand how you want to like bring that energy to the show, but you have to use that space wisely. And then the only thing was just the ending. I just wish that there was an ending instead of just adding a fade out at the end. Some type of movement, something, whether you're moving your hands towards the camera or you're ending in a specific spot, but some attention to the song and the show ending.
Even the classic Fruit Ninja slash through the air is perfectly fine.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Something, just so we know that the show is ending.
Okay. And Van Flo, I know there was something he did that I didn't see many people in our past videos. Was it pass throughs they're called?
Yeah.
Pass throughs. What were your thoughts on those?
Those definitely came from the old Gregor and Finger Fitness videos. Those are big when probably people like Marianne and Teddy were all learning. But there's a this is definitely a show where there's someone with a lot of potential. Um, like like say with like I have mixed feelings because say I'll use cleanliness as an example of sort of the way this show went, where there was like a little bit of wasted movement in some of the moves where say like his positions might jiggle a little bit and stuff like that. But then the way he, that's one aspect. And then the other aspect is how you actually move. And his movements themselves were like really smooth. And I can tell that like in person it'd be quite a mesmerizing show. I thought his moveset was quite good. Um, certainly above average. And use of space, this is one of those things where Mary said went off a little bit. But I'm having a hard time with this one. This is one of those ones where I wish I had like a 0.5 option on my number scale. So, but yeah, overall I liked it a lot. It was definitely kind of a mesmerizing show.
Oh, dope. Sounds good. Sounds good. Teddy?
Well, we are going to go ahead and move on and take a look at Youngblood.
Ooh.
Just like a Sunday morning drive, and you're cruising with your baby by your side, and the groove has got you moving, hypnotized. Yeah, you're flowing smooth as summer wine, and you got to simply let it slide, let it slide, let it slide. Take your time, baby, and you got to simply let it slide, let it slide, let it slide. Be fine, baby. Yeah, come on, baby. Let the music use your mind. Take your time. Let the music use your
And that was Youngblood. Animated J, you got a big smile on. How you feeling?
Yeah, man. See, that's the thing. Like, you don't got to say anything. Like, if you could just make people feel things, then you're doing wonderful. That ending with him just grooving at the end, that was like a nice little, outro. But that was wild how his use of space, like how he's controlling, it was very like, I felt like he was moving things around that we couldn't see. Like, he was like manipulating space and all of stuff was happening and the control was dope. So I enjoyed that. See, that's what I'm talking about. So let's start with Mary. What did you see showmanship wise?
Good energy right from the beginning. One of the things that I just love that is just not used enough is when people just like pause at those breaks in the music, and just like stopping at certain points can just be so impactful. And it accentuates the music, and it also gives us a point to kind of break up the show a little bit and see that, oh, something, now we're transitioning into a different part of the show. And I liked the ending too. There was it was almost like a false ending, and then there was like a little fun little like a pop sort of thing that he was doing with his body. I kind of wanted to see that like keep going, but that was a fun show. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Now, Van Flo, what was going on? Like, I'm describing it like he's manipulating the space, he's
Yep.
stopping. What is that? Can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah. That is exactly what I like the most about this show is there is a sense of like something tangible in the space between the hands. And I think that is very important for illusion in general. Like the moment I saw that I was going to be seeing that level of comprehension of it's sort of a blend between difficulty and use of space, but that it certainly had no problem in use of space. Was he had something where I call it or in liquid dancing they used to call it calls, like as in you like call someone. So there was this sense of like almost like pulling a string up here, but then kind of called it back, something like that. And there was a sense of like connection, like one was dragging the other back. I was like, okay, yep. There's that sense of tangibility there. That is going to be very enjoyable.
Nice. Thank you for that breakdown. Calls. There you go. I always wondered. I've seen that in different areas. So
Yeah. The original basically would involve like this one hand here, another like might wave up there, but then they would like call it back like that or something.
very.
So would you say that calls are similar to like remoting or creating remoting concept, but with less restriction, with less like kinetic restriction or less like animation restriction?
I'd say it's kind of in a remotely similar category. I know I have stuff I built off of that I called like yo-yos and spools, but there's just this general idea of this thing's over here, and you're like, oh yeah, come back. You're like reeling it in.
I like
and So
That's
it's
dope.
kind of a loose, kind of a loose category.
Right. That's
Awesome.
dope. That's dope. Teddy.
Knew you got moves class. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at the main event for this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, Morty.
Hold on.
That was Morty. Animated J.
No,
What does that look for?
That was nasty. I enjoyed that. Like that was just straight up, just like nasty. How he's it clusters, correct? It's clusters, right? How
Yeah.
and then he's like they're like cause and effect thing, and then he's just like it's bugged out. Like that's like the thing I feel like is hot now in the gloving world. Maybe you guys would know. But that was wild. That was nasty. I want to start with Van Flo. What do you think of those clusters?
Start by saying, am I the only one who realized this man has some really long fingers?
Right.
Like, I'll say, so I like that he was using 45s at the start. I don't see those a lot, but there's a part where he messed up on him hard enough that I feel bad that I have to knock this guy down a cleanliness point for it from a 4 to a 3. But it's when you do 45 and you see how these knuckles are like curled inward. when you do that when you do it with finger styles, you can kind of get away with it. With gloves, you can't see the light at all. It's like it just ruins it. And there were some other things with some minor angles, but that's a big no-no with 45s and gloves. But the difficulty of concept, this guy is definitely you know, the highest that I've scored so far. Let's see if we get someone to go higher, but I was thoroughly I was thoroughly impressed. This is the first time I've seen a show from him.
Dope, dope. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild.
Yeah, that was. Just had to explain why the one cleanliness score had to get knocked down. Unfortunately, sorry, Morty.
Totally. Blitzen.
You got a judge apologizing to you for knocking down a point. That's a first for the GFC.
You know,
That's because I like him. I feel bad.
Yeah, you see a beautiful piece of art and you're like, damn, why is there like a little stain on the corner?
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
You know. So Blitzen, what did you see here?
That was a fun show. Good energy the whole time, like consistently the whole way. With songs like that are very like that was a very visual song. Like at certain points it had this like almost it sounded like something was like trickling downward, or like the shimmer effect. I wish that that was acknowledged a little bit more, because like if you're intentionally picking a song like that, I just feel like those points in the music are just, you can't, they're like undeniable. So they need to be, you need to hit those beats at certain points. But
Enunciate.
I'm doing my best.
Oh no, I'm saying they those
or
sounds
they're
need
telling me to enunciate. I was like, come on.
No, not you. I was giving you the word you were looking for.
Yes, enunciate, accentuate.
Explorate. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, we start making up words.
Yeah.
But the energy was great. Like and I think it's okay. Like a lot of the times at the drop, people want to get like bigger, and I don't think that always has to happen. Like you can bring the focus towards the towards the center of the frame. As long as there's some type of adjustment in the movement and you're acknowledging the music, I think that that's totally appropriate. The ending, I wasn't, I don't know in a competition setting if using like the the fade to black. I get what he was going with that. I think you could still use those movements and you don't even need the fade to black, to acknowledge that the music is kind of winding down. So I might take off a few points just for that because, I don't think it's necessary. Now if it was just a standalone video by itself, then, go for it. But that's just my take on it.
Can I ask you something, Mary, about the fade to black thing? If it was, say, not a like a competition video, but say like a normal, what are your project video, or you're exploring your videography and everything like that, would you still would you recommend not doing that still, or would you actually like it in that context?
I think if it's like tastefully done, it can have a good effect because we're just watching something straight on for however many minutes, and then when the image changes, it's you again, it's just another change in the pacing, and I think I think people should explore the creativity of like editing and how they can just keep expanding upon their light show with all the technology that we have available.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I point that out is because like as for what we're doing, like judging a show, we don't want to see frills. Like we just want to see like just the raw video. Nothing fancy, because it can sort of like with the fade to black, we're missing what's happening in between there. We're for judging, we want to see that.
Yeah.
So, but for normal video posting,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and do that kind of stuff. It's good, just not for judging.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. I want to thank my judges here and my co-host Animated Jay. This has been awesome. We'll be back with the last 4 light shows of Group C. We are going to be taking a look at Badgie, Sad Hatter, Tutkita, and Creepa to close out the group. Thank you once again. We'll be back. Oh, but before we go, Animated Jay, what is our round table topic for today?
Our table topic for today is the value of the first 15 seconds of your light show.
Ooh, first impressions. I like it. All right. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and click on the next video. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, well, head on over to YouTube. See y'all later.
You got love.